So this is the May, thank you, Melanie. This is the May 10th meeting of the Stonington Harbor Management Commission. First on the agenda is to review our minutes from the last meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
So moved.
Thanks, Joe. Second?
Second.
Okay. Are there any comments? I'm going to go through the action items now. So if there are any other comments, jump in with them. Action item 1 was Eric would speak with David Motherway about the third mooring for the Wad Club.
Haven't had any contact with Dave on that.
Okay, we'll leave that open. Action item 2 is, I believe the Selectman's office already had done the accommodation to Bruce.
Oh, good. That's nice.
It was in a letter that I had received, so that was good. Action item 3. I'd send a comment to Chairman Pinto. Oh, I've slipped on that. Oh, leave that one still open. I gotta still do that. There's no reason to not do it, but I forgot about it. Action item 4, Harbor Master Donch to confirm with Greenhaven Marine on the slow no wake buoys and the Aton buoy at Pawcatuck Point.
Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about that during the Harbor Master report.
Okay, this done?
Yeah, call that one done.
Okay. Action item 5, Bruce was going to contact Gilman to buy the 5 buoys.
That's done.
Okay. Action item 6, I'll contact Deep for next steps to approve our harbor management plan. And I did that. I had a good conversation with Kim
Zappa.
and Zappa. Yep. And I'll talk about that more when we get to that part. And then action item, I know we had a jump in numbers here from 6 to 10.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I should have caught that when I reviewed it. I did have been in contact with the Selectman's office, and we can talk about that later during the executive session. And action item 11, I think Melanie did that. She sent out the documentation, and I can just end the meeting as I should put an end time on the agenda, then I can just end it at that time, no matter what's happening.
Good try, Jay.
Sounds like that might make everybody happy. They know when the meeting's going to end for sure. All right. Is there any other comments or corrections to the minutes from the last meeting? All right. Then all those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay. So that takes us to any public comment. I don't think we have anybody from the public.
No.
Okay. So then to correspondence, there was one, the payment from Elihu Island Moorings, $350 check. I have it here, Eric, if you want to pick it up at my house, or I can drop it off someplace for you.
I will. You're typically around in the afternoon?
Yep.
All right, I'll give you a shout coming home from work one of these afternoons and just swing by and grab it.
Okay.
They
Sounds good.
sent that by mail before I was able to, they didn't want to wait. I was able to put them all into the system. So they get one bill, just like the commercial does, even though they are in essence privates. And he didn't want to wait for the payment, Stephen Bates. So that's why he mailed it. He said next year he'll pay online.
Okay. Yeah, it would be easier, I guess, for us, right? For him to pay online. And then I guess, I'm not sure the relationship, but Cindy Bates thanked us for the, or showed appreciation for the slow no wake area being established for Sandy Point. She had provided us input, I think back in August, regarding the activities out there. And so that takes us to the treasurer's report. Sherm?
Okay, got a chunk of money in April, $17,750 deposited. That's 117 commercial moorings. That's all of, I take it, Eric, all of Dodson and Cardinals 5, and we haven't heard from Ian yet.
Not true. All of them are in the yeah, the Dodson and the Cardinal Cove came in as checks. Ian's Don's Dock used the online system, so their monies are coming by way of the online mooring check.
But it was not the check in April, I assume. Not this check.
No, I believe it's the one that I have sitting in front of me.
Okay.
Dodson's told me they do not want to use the online system to pay because of their bookkeeping, so they will go forward with a check in the future. Cardinal Cove, I talked to her last month, and next year they'll pay online as well. But when I hit the approve for them in the system, Online Moorings gets their $6 per mooring thing, whether they pay by check or not. And I note in Online Moorings how they pay.
That's correct. Online gets their $6, however the bill is paid.
Correct.
And I don't count a payment until we get it in the town hall. So
Okay,
Ian's payment will show up in May.
perfect.
Otherwise, another 121 private moorings paid, both by check. I think there were only 10 of them by check, and all the rest were online.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So the year to date, we're at the 117 and 137 and $18,550. So we get sort of 2/3 or 3/4 of the way there. We get private moorings yet to come and the special mooring. Only one bill paid. It was all the way down at the bottom under administrative, $127. That was 3 Zoom meeting charges that Melanie paid, and I assume, Melanie, you got a check in good order from the town.
I certainly did, very quickly.
We were trying very hard to avoid a deal like poor Joe had to go through, so I'm glad we did. So that's it. We're bank account now has on our accounting, 21,000 in it plus the reserves that you see at the bottom. The town shows 71 or $72,000, something like that. They just have the two added together. So we're fine. Everything seems to be working.
Good.
Great.
You should see the special purpose mooring payments coming in. I'll go over that in my online review. But I was able to process their one bill for each of them, and that was sent out last Thursday or Friday to them. And I emailed them so they all know it's coming.
Okay, well, I assume they're gonna, well, I shouldn't assume. Do you know whether they'll pay you or Eric, or they're gonna go through online?
They didn't say. I'm thinking that they're probably gonna pay by check, only because they're more like a vendor, and to pay online, it's not like they have a credit card account,
Yeah.
or they may.
Yeah.
But I expect more of a paper check.
Okay, so Eric, I assume you'll pick that up then on your cover sheet that you put with the payments when you turn all of that in, which is very helpful.
Yeah, that'll be when I do like the line item
Yeah,
pieces there, it'll be on there.
okay, with the correct amount, which makes it much easier to decide whether it's a commercial, private, or special mooring for the county.
Hey, Sherman, the town you said shows about 71,000. I assume that's because they've taken the reserves that we have, which amounts to about 50, and added it to the 21. Is that correct?
Right.
That's how they came up with that?
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's fine.
By the way, the town has never seen this. I mean, unless they look at it online, they've never seen this P&L. They have their own set of accounts. There are only 2 or 3 of them, and it's very simple. So they see a number that they see 3 numbers that add up to 71,000 something, and we see many numbers that add up to the same thing. Our purpose is different than theirs.
Do you know what the 3 things are that they have in their designations?
Yes. Hang on a second. It
Just out of
must,
curiosity.
Jesse, I'm kind of guessing that it goes all the way back to when this accounting was first set up and the commission was set up, and all of the treasurer stuff was done on the town books.
Okay,
And whoever did it, whoever set it up, then these are the accounts they asked to be set up. Mooring fees is one. Personal service expense, equipment and support expense, and harbor master expense. That's it. That's 4 accounts.
okay, well, as long as we both agree, I mean, they agree with us and vice versa, there's nothing to worry about. It's good.
So far, we have always agreed.
Good.
So that is good. It's pretty helpful to have a couple of ways to approach this and compare.
Yeah, good checks and balances.
That's exactly right.
Hey, Sherm,
Yes,
out of curiosity, the categories that you just read off,
yes.
do they have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Do they have like a 10-digit, a 5-number dash 5-number, like account number associated with them?
Yes, they do. The
All right.
first 5 is, in all cases, is 21,900, 21,900.
Yep.
And that just is us, Harbor
Okay.
Management Commission.
Okay, because in my transmittal form, and this is, I know why, this is a holdover from a couple of years ago. I have 4 categories. Mooring fees, which everything goes in under, and that's 72,304.
Yeah,
I have one miscellaneous revenue, which occasionally we get the hey, I want to be an extra nice
Yeah.
mooring holder and give you guys an extra $100 kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's 72,004.
yeah, I'm looking at your report.
Oh, okay.
I should expand. That is, they still have that miscellaneous revenue, and last year we had $100 or $200 in it. They did too.
Okay.
But they haven't had any so far this year, so it doesn't show up on the report I just read.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
There's a reserve for harbor master boat, which
Yep.
we used to have way back when. That closed out, and we've reopened it a different way on our books quite
okay.
a while ago, so that will never be used. And reserve town dock, the same thing.
All right. So my transmittal form, then I should just cut down to the 2 columns, mooring fees and miscellaneous revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Be fine.
I will do that.
Just make sure you continue identifying which kind of mooring fee. And eventually you're gonna run into wait list fee. And I'm sure I missed the meeting when you all decided what we're gonna charge for wait list annually, renewal, initial, and so forth. But when that happens, we'll need to identify the checks you get for wait list
Yeah, should we,
somehow.
um, it would be easiest on my end if, you know, so on my report, which obviously you get a copy of, we have the mooring fees column. If we could have a waitlist fee column, that would be the simple way to divide it on my end when I do the transmittals.
Sure, that would be fine.
Do we need to have the town give us a account number, or do you want to reassign one of the other account numbers, or do you want to figure that out with the town and let me know what to do? Or
Let's go with that option. Let me figure it out with the town and let you know.
Okay.
Have you started getting it? Are you getting anything yet?
no, that's not going to be until after September.
September, okay.
Yeah.
Starting in September.
We can
Right.
resolve that. I don't know. I'll just ask the town whether they have any reason on their books to show it separately. I think actually I would ask them to show it separately, just again as another check and balance to what we show, which we'll show, I think we'll show separately on this report.
Yeah, that would be the simplest way for me to enter the stuff, would be
Yeah.
that way. We're gonna
Yeah.
have to work with online mooring to somehow have the report differentiate. No, I mean, it doesn't matter to us when the check
It's already
comes
done,
in.
Eric.
Okay, never mind.
By the way, what did you all, or what have we decided on the fee for initial wait list, listing, and annual renewal, or have we not decided?
Have, it's $25 annual and it's $50 for a new application.
So the first year for somebody, it's 50, or the first the application's 50, and then 25 every year thereafter.
And 25 annually, yep.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to figure out.
That's,
how to
and that's,
show that.
that's tied to that September date for renewal of the waiting list.
And Eric and I'm going to
Yeah,
go
okay.
over it in the online mooring review, but Eric and I decided and we've talked about this as a commission, we'll send a letter out to let people know in August that this is happening. And that's why I've been contacting everyone on the wait list so that I have current information.
Okay.
Well, suppose we do this, how does this sound for our report, the one we look at? As to wait list, we'll have another line for paid wait list. And there'll be two items. This will be the number that came in, the number of payments that came in that month. First number would be for initial. That would be the $50. Maybe there are 3 of them in the month of September. So that number would be 3 / and the second number would be the number of renewal payments that came in for that month. Maybe there's 10 of them. And then we accumulate the dollars just as we do on the moorings here.
All right. Yeah, we'll visit all that as soon as we start getting some money in and figure out the best way to do it, because I'm sure I'll forget this part of the conversation between now and then.
As
But
long as you can keep track of 50 versus 25, you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
I'll do the counting. Just you're gonna
Yeah,
put a name, right?
Yeah, and I'll put a name, and
And an
really
amount.
that only applies with the people that send in a check.
That's correct.
The stuff that comes through online, that's all handled. So yeah, the people that send in a check, that'll be pretty easy to do. I'll just continue to do it the way that I do it now. You know, I'll have a name, and the dollars will show up in the appropriate column.
right. The only thing, yeah, in the appropriate column will work fine.
Yep.
Just don't, I mean, it'd be easy to I guess the potential confusion is on a private mooring, $50 and an initial wait list, $50.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything's different, so it should be fairly easy for me to keep track of.
Yep. So if I have it set up under two different columns on the report that you, the transmittal report that you see, that you get a copy of, that
That works-
should make it
works
easy
fine.
for you to differentiate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sherman, to be clear, you're going to ask the town to add a fourth category to their three that they have right now, such that the wait list fees are separated out. Is that correct? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking to do.
Okay. It's a whole new category, so it seems like a valid thing for them to add it as a new fourth category.
Yeah. That is what we will do.
Okay. So Sherm, do you still get the reports from Barbara?
I do, but
Dexter.
Barbara's long gone, so.
Oh, okay.
The reason, I did notice that you don't get them now. And it's
I have not been getting them since November, no.
There's a new person, and I have to ask her. Her name is Aga, I think it is, AGA. She's very helpful. I asked her for a report, and before the day is over, I get it, but I don't ever get it automatically. So I'll go over there and see if I can get your name added back to it, which I should.
Okay. I mean, I don't really do much with them, but I suppose if something happened, it might be useful
Well, it probably would
to have.
have more than one person have it, but anyway, she's very accommodating, as are all those people over there. So,
Yep. All right, great.
That's it for me.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Paul. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
I-
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, Eric. Let's go through your part, and then Melanie's going to talk about after, as a first item in old business, about the online mooring progress.
All right. So I'll apologize. The harbor master report literally was emailed at about quarter of. And if anybody's looking for it, it was done as a reply to Jay's agenda email. There's three attachments there. There's the harbor master report, and then two estimates from Greenhaven Marine about the buoy setting. So to dive in, right now I'm just calling it nothing new added for this month. As we work through and get everything squared away for the online and versus the paperwork here. 4 moorings are still in the works. So actually that was wrong. The new permits issue should have been 2. 4 of them in the works in various stages as we work through it. So it's a little harder right now to when it was purely paper going back and forth, it was very easy to say what's in the works. Now it's a little bit harder because it's in the works, I guess, until they get done with their end of it on online mooring and I go in and approve it. So that number fluctuates around a little bit, but we're getting through there. Nothing was given up this month. As mentioned, we had 17,750 deposited last month, and I have, let's see, 3,450 is the check from online mooring, and probably there's a dozen envelopes here. I'd say half a dozen of them are probably payments for moorings. That stuff will probably get deposited next Monday, unless I can get to it evenings. No, I won't get to the town hall. That'll be next Monday. Right now, We got 223 private moorings are approved. All 127 commercial moorings are approved. And there's 34 that are in the under review column. Most of those are registrations. That seems to be the biggest challenge for people is uploading a photo or a scan or something of their registration to online. Not obviously, usually with the more senior mooring holders. But all the young mooring holders have absolutely no problem getting stuff online and uploaded and such. So we're still working our way through getting those people helped out. We're making good progress, and Melanie is making huge progress in keeping this moving along. The permit for the slow no wake buoys, I didn't hear anything back from Mike at DEP yet. I still don't expect that to be any issue. It's just things are a little bit slower now with him not working from the office. So I don't foresee any issues with being able to get those buoys in progress or established once we've got them in hand. Greenhaven Marine did send a couple of estimates, and I apologize. I looked at these about 2 weeks ago and made a mental note and forgot to reach back out to Jay Douglas. So if you happen to be looking at the email attachment, and I'll run through it. I'll start with the one for the 5 no wake markers. In his, I guess I wasn't clear to him that we were actually purchasing the buoys themselves. So he's got the purchase of the buoys included in his estimate. But I think as far as the hardware and stuff, this would all hold true. So for the 5 no wake markers, labor, $100 each, 200-pound pyramid anchor for each one of them at a cost of $350 each. A shackle and chain. The shackle's $35. The chain, I think he put it in the wrong column here. Looks like the average of 10 foot per buoy. Use the rate as per foot or cost more or less of chain. Yeah, he's only got $10 written. So $10 at 10 feet. That's what he's trying to say. About $100 a mooring, $100 per buoy on that. So 550, 550, 585. Looks like he's in the neighborhood of $585 per buoy to set the slow no wake buoys is the bid that he's given us. That's the initial cost. I do not have an annual cost from him to maintain those. And let's see, somewhere here in all of these screens is the other. I inadvertently closed a green navigation buoy set right here. So for that, he's looking at a couple of hours of labor on that for $200. We had talked about last month, and he put it in the estimate of just going real oversized to hold that buoy on station. That's a 300-pound pyramid at a cost of $450, 3/4 inch chain, and a shackle, $160 worth of chain, $70 for a shackle. So he's at $923.18 with tax included for the setting of the green navigation buoy G21 off of Osbrook Point. So that's where we are for estimates on setting the buoys. He's pretty much right in line with what we've been paying, I think, for Ian, Don's Dock or Dodson's to do initial sets for us. He is going slightly larger on the anchors at my request, as we discussed last month at the meeting, to make sure that those stay on station. These are all being set in areas where there's a little bit more tidal action, current rip than all of our other stuff. That most of our other buoys are set on 100-pound pyramids now. Okay, that's that part of it. And as far as the Harbor Master boat itself goes, PMW finished that up, painted the bottom, got it all set up. So that boat hit the water last week on the 5th. And it's in the water, and apparently I swung by and checked it today. It's in good shape. And as I was walking back down to get my truck from launching that boat, the police boat was just being swung into the water, and I see that one is at the dock today. So the dock is back in full use, and just waiting for a phone call that the water has been turned on down there. I did double check the outlet when I walked by it, Jesse, and it doesn't look like we have any more water accumulation issues in the outlet box. So it looks like that repair was successful. And that's about it.
So on the, I'm looking at your attachment. So for the slow no wake buoys, Greenhaven had charged us in their estimate of $325 each times 5, $1,600, and we're going to pull that out of their estimate. So their $5,000 estimate for that is now going to be around $3,400. Is that right?
So you would take out the 1625 and the 350 for the labeling. So you would
Okay.
take out 1975.
Okay, so it's going to be
Excuse me.
around $3,000 then.
Yeah, 16, you're right.
And Bruce McKinnon, you're providing those 5 buoys, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
They're all ordered.
okay.
I just, I know we got, I don't want to belabor this, but we got estimates from Defender for these things, but obviously we haven't had a chance to compare the two. I had only 7 minutes before the meeting, Eric. This came to me at 6:53.
Yep, no,
So,
that's
But
that's
I
why
think we might compare those, compare these things just to get an idea of what we're dealing with here.
yeah, that's why I opened with an apology that went out
Yeah.
late.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, what we would have to do is compare the I'm not familiar with which the name brand Sea Choice versus whatever name brand Defender.
Well, I know Defender did not estimate Dormore, which are much more expensive. They
Right.
estimated I think it's a Chinese knockoff, but for this, I mean, these things are substantial anyway. That I don't think we need Dormore. If I put my boat on a pyramid, I want a Dormore, but for these things, I think we can use the knockoff.
Yeah, and I think if we I think if Jay was very open when I spoke to him, he was very open to whatever combination of supplies we wanted to use. So if we told him that we've got an estimate from Defender for XYZ anchor, and that's what we want to go with, I think he'd be willing to do that, no problem.
Good. One more thing. He should know, I mentioned this the last meeting before I ordered these, that these big, what are they, class 4, whatever the bigger one is,
I think, yeah.
they don't come assembled. They come in 3 parts, so they have to be put together. Does he know that?
I don't think he knows that. I don't recall telling him that. That could add slightly to the labor costs.
Probably.
But there's not a heck of a lot to the assembly, right? It's the buoy, the steel rod.
And
I
yeah,
forget what the third piece
steel
is.
rod and
Maybe the top plate or something.
I think there's a rod that goes horizontally, and then
Oh
there's
yeah,
the big rod in the middle. I think that's what they have to do. They have to put the big anchor rod in the middle, put the big stainless one. I think it's like a
Is
1/4 inch.
is the reason that they're not assembled when we get them from Gilman, is that for ease of shipping?
Exactly. That's the weight. Yeah.
Didn't we discuss at the last meeting that we might just drive down there and pick them up and bring them
Well,
back?
yeah, we did. That's not the point, though. They would come disassembled, whether we drive down there or they deliver them or whatever.
Well, it
What
kind of
if-
leads into my next question is where would they be delivered to? To
Well-
Greenhaven, to us? I mean, where would they be delivered to?
I would assume Greenhaven, but Eric, what?
Would we incur a substantial charge if we asked them to assemble them? I mean, we put what, 4 fully assembled buoys on the trailer last time with no issues.
Yeah, the class 5s.
I mean, we can easily get 6, even though they're class 4s. We can get 6 buoys on the trailer with no problem. I just don't know if it's they don't want to do it because it's handling it there at the shop issue, or
I think it is. Unassembled, they're 250 pounds, and they come in they actually come in 4 pieces. Yeah.
And, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. We can run up there and get them however they want to deliver them, and the assembly can't take very long at all. There's not much to them.
Right.
So,
A couple of big wrenches. I figured we'd deliver these if we had talked last meeting about picking them up ourselves up at
Yep.
Gilman, and I figured we'd just deliver them to Greenhaven.
yeah, if we go with the Greenhaven estimate,
Yeah.
and what I would propose is, based on the numbers we see here, it's not a final number, but it gives us a ballpark. What I would propose is that the commission give, if you want to make it a contact point, give Bruce authority to engage Greenhaven in this contract, and we'll get a hold of Jay again and say, hey, look, there's a little bit of extra labor, but we're supplying the buoys, and just get the new estimate from him, but not necessarily wait until June for a commission meeting to approve it, to move forward.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Let Greenhaven do the assembly. That way they take full responsibility for it. And so
I
they
agree.
charge us another $50 or whatever it costs. I think it's a good idea to do that.
I agree. I can't see it taking more than what's their rate is. Well, I don't know what their assembly rate would be, but it's going to be a couple of $100. It's not going to be that much to bolt 4 pieces together.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
So another question I have for Eric is, I don't have your report right in front of me, but I believe the DEP permission has not really been granted yet. Is that correct?
That's true. We do not have a signed permit.
Okay.
I
So
do
if we
not
get the buoys, do we have to wait until we get that before we plant the buoys, or can we put the buoys in with the anticipation that we're going to get the permit?
I can give Mike Payton a call and ask him about that, if he would be upset if the buoys ended up ahead of the paperwork. Given the extreme working conditions, the COVID pandemic, I'll lay all the keywords and tricky phrases out there, and see if we can get that buy-in so that we can get those set as soon as possible.
Good. I think the sooner the better. It's good. Thank you.
That's all I got for my report. Unless there's any other questions.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the harbor master's report?
I'll make a motion to approve the harbor master report.
Thank you, Ed. Second,
I'll second.
thank you, Jess.
So,
Any more discussion? Oh, something more, Eric.
so yeah, I mean, I just want to clarify or make sure that we're good with moving forward. Is the commission on board with using Greenhaven Marine? It's kind of a spreading of the wealth, so to speak, between Dotson's, Don's, and Greenhaven, using them more to the east side. So that would be question number one. And then question number two, is the commission good with moving forward with them, so that we don't have to wait till a June meeting to do it?
I think we're in favor of all of those things.
Yeah,
I
I
would-
can't,
I agree.
I'm not a commission member. I can't make
Right.
a motion.
I would make that motion that we move ahead with engaging
yeah.
with Greenhaven.
Yeah, I was going to address that when we get to that in the old business,
Okay,
Okay. Well, then,
move along.
but it sounds like we got most of that from that part.
One more item of discussion before we vote on this. Eric, where do we stand on the doors to the cabin? I know since the boat's already in the water, that means we're not taking the boat up there to have them install doors. Are we going to be able to get new doors that are going to match, and we'll install them ourselves?
I owe them a set of measurements to see if the ones that they have in stock are going to fit our boat, and I have not sent them a set of dimensions or called him on the phone. What I'm hoping to do is get on the phone with him while I'm standing on the boat, so he can tell me, okay, measure from A to B, measure from E to F, and work it from there. So when I talked to him last time, he said it's not a hard install if you guys wanted to do it. So, but it's still open.
I would suggest that we take pictures of it and then make measurements and put the measurements right on the pictures, and then send it to them and say, here's what we have, here's the measurements, and that should make it pretty clear to them if they have something that will fit.
Yep.
It's easy enough to do.
That's a great way to do it. Well, I'll do that, and then get in a phone conversation with him to answer any questions that he has and see what we can do, and get a price from him, and then come back to the commission and say, this is what it's going to cost to do it.
Yeah, let me know when you want to do that. I'd be happy to come down and help with the measurements, take the pictures, and put the graphics together so we can send it to them.
You're just looking for another photo op. I know.
Just trying to be helpful, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'll give you a call.
So Eric, I had one question on the numbers, the renewals. So you have 34 under review, and so that adds up to 257. So only 2 people are not renewing of the 259.
The 259 subtract 3 for the commercial accounts. So that's 256 sent out.
Okay.
And then I think if I remember the way the numbers worked out, that put us like 1 over based on Melanie has found a couple of people that had fallen through the cracks in the transfer from our system to the online mooring. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once here and open up the dashboard. So when all is said and done, we are going to have more than going back to here, 259 sent out. Like I said, 3, that includes 3 commercials. So call it 256 for privates. Our number, when all is said and done, should actually come back higher than 256, based on finding some people that fell through the cracks.
For renewals. Okay.
Yep.
And the 34 under review are, how many of these people are just haven't done anything?
37, I think, Eric. You've got 2 columns on the dashboard. The upper column, I think, is 34. And then there are incomplete applications of 37, I think it says. Those 2 combined are renewals that aren't completed.
Yeah. So right now the renewals incomplete is showing 27. I just opened the dashboard up.
Okay, I had updated that earlier today, so my numbers are off.
Yeah. So Jay, that looks like 27 people that are, that haven't replied to us at all. That would be the correct.
Okay. Oh, that's not too bad.
Renewal incomplete would be the number to be looking at for that, right,
That-
Melanie?
Renewal, yeah. The second lower number on the dashboard, I can't pull it up while I'm on the screen
Right.
here. I don't have my iPad, so I can't look at both of them.
Yeah.
So you-
Renewal incomplete is at 27. So
So you and Melanie have been chasing them down, those
Yes.
people? Yeah. Okay.
I have contacted on the incomplete. So on the upper, Eric, the 20 something.
Yep.
There's a number of those. We talked about those. You've probably got the paperwork in there.
yeah, and that's probably some of this paperwork that I
Right.
have sitting
So
on my
most
desk
of
that I got to
those-
blow through.
I've looked at every single one of them. Most of them are ones that sent in paper stuff
Yep.
or
Yeah.
had issues with DMV. Then we go down to the other number that's further down. That's I think that's in the 30s. Is that 37 that says application incomplete?
Application.
Dashboard?
Application incomplete right now is at 2. I think you're thinking renewal incomplete.
Yes, yes. Renewal incomplete are the ones that haven't done a darn thing.
Yeah.
And if I've already sent them an automatic reminder, and the system, I've got it set up. I did that manually. The system automatically, I have set up that will send them a reminder on June 1st. And then my plan is to give them 2 weeks and then I will call them. And that's how I got it down to 0 last year, but that wasn't until December. So my
Yeah.
hope is to get these people on board, help them to understand how to do this all online and get our payments in before the end of the season.
The good
All right.
news is the holdouts until December last year have already renewed this year.
Okay.
Most of them were, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And so I sat on the phone and walked them through each step.
Melanie, you mentioned, and thanks for your help with mine, but
Yes.
the system wasn't, at least in some cases, not working right. Has that been a prevailing issue? or
It's
just
not that it's not working right. I'll use yours as an example, Joe. So what happened is you don't get a confirmation when you pay. You'll get a confirmation from the system when Eric approves it. So what I've been doing for the time being, later this season, we will set it up so that when you pay, you get an automatic. But for now, I've been going in and manually sending out confirmations to people to let them know that we got their payment.
Okay, yeah, because it was confusing.
Yeah, it is. And online, because we're new, we kind of have to find out these little tweaks. And then I just send them an email and they click a couple buttons and it automatically changes it so
Right.
that people get these automatic emails.
Okay.
All right.
One last question for the harbor master. Did you get my email regarding potential interference between Legacy and the J24, and if one of those moorings can possibly be moved a little bit so there's more room between the large boat and the little boat.
21 Echo, 21 Foxtrot. Actually was just reading that when the meeting started. So I will finish reading it and figure out what we can do with that.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to approve the harbor master's report. All those in favor?
I,
Okay, I'm not sure it was seconded, was it?
Yes, it was by
Yes.
Jesse.
Okay, good.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. So now we can go into more detail, Melanie, on the online mooring
Okay.
changes. I know we got into some of it there, but
Yeah. I'll go through each of my bullet items quickly, and I'll just wait right after each item to see if anybody has any questions. And then we'll just keep going through my list. So over the past few months, this is a compilation of all the things that I've been working on with online. So basically, from my conversation with few conversations with Eric, I'm basically kind of overseeing the wait list right now to get things moving on it and taking that off of Eric's plate so he can focus on the approved moorings in the harbor and address that, because the wait list is basically it used to be a paper trail kind of thing. Now it's an electronic trail. So I have added all commercial moorings, Cardinal, Dodson's, Donstock into the system, and work through the process of sending them one bill. Dodson's, that was their request. They did not want to get 120 some emails that they have to go in and click the renew button to do all of them. So that was a programming change online had to do. They set that up. We did I worked with Cassandra at Donstock. We did a test, all good there, and they're all paid for all our vendors. So in the future, they just get one bill and they can pay it all online. And Cassandra at Donstock was my test case to see how to pay it online, how easy it was. And she said once it was fixed, it was very easy to do.
So I'll just jump in. Sherman Bruce, if you guys remember, that was one of the questions we asked when we went to that online meeting up in Bristol 2 years ago now. And they had said, oh yeah, no problem. That'll happen. No problem. It's taken 2 seasons now to get it worked out. So
yeah, it wasn't a simple process, but we got it done. Any more questions on that one? Okay, next one. Set up application, each application data for the special purpose moorings. So we're one of the few harbors in online that use the special mooring in online system. So I had to go in and enter every single mooring number and complete the applications for each of the 3, I'll call them vendors, for the special purpose. Did all that and sent them each one bill, just like the commercial, even though we considered them, they're not a commercial mooring, so to speak. And so they get one bill and they can pay online or send a check in. And they confirmed with me that they got their bills. So all good with that. And this helps Sherm so he doesn't have to manually send them bills out each year. So that's all set. Any questions? Nope. Okay. Contracted, we talked about this in December and January. I confirmed and contacted all the non-payers from 2020 and got them all paid in the system. Next, I contacted 34 people on the wait list. to offer them moorings for this season. 17 of them chose to remove themselves. 9 Eric assigned. 7 chose to defer. And 1 of them is on hold per the harbor master. And Eric, I don't know if you planned on wanting to discuss that.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yep.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that one now or?
Well, after you finish up.
Okay. That's a problem child for us. And there were, from the 2020 season, there were 4 deferrals. 1 chose to remove, I'm sorry, 4 chose to remove and 1 was assigned.
Melanie,
Yes,
are those numbers you're talking about there on top of the ones Paul was working on?
yes.
Okay.
Those
So how
are,
did those end up, or are you gonna cover that somewhere else?
I've got notes. I don't have them up here in my office on those. I contacted a number of those folks, had to fix them in the online system and get them, if they were deferrals or if Erica signed. They're separate from the 34 that I did.
Okay, so,
Paul's group is essentially wrapped up. We have a final outcome for each of Paul's people, basically,
Yes.
Wow.
whether it be assigned a mooring or deferred or
so that was what, Paul, roughly 20? You
22.
were working 22 plus
22,
another
yeah.
30 some odd you did that are different ones?
Yes, plus the 35 that I did before Paul. So we've assigned a
30,
lot.
60, 78, so 80, or am I
Roughly.
in the neighborhood, 80 some odd wait list people have been contacted this go round.
Since 2019.
So since 2019, okay. All right, thank you. And how many of them do we have, let's say it was 80, did 20 of them sign on? I mean, and the rest of them deferred or quit or whatever? We got some sort of a success rate out of it. That's a pretty big sample, 80 some odd. So how many of them did we land?
I think Melanie's frozen.
Oh, Melanie, I'm sorry. I retract my question if that's causing you to do this. You need to
I thought
activate.
you just might be annoyed with your question, but
You're
no,
frozen,
she's
must
gone.
be.
Hopefully she'll jump back
It's
in
gonna
here.
Start again. Or do you know, Eric?
so. Sherm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. Out of the 80 people that were contacted from the wait list
Right.
18 months ago, how many are going to end up with moorings? To boil it down, right?
Well, they were
Well,
contacted.
in the first year, how many are moorings, taking moorings? I think you might be right about 20 or so.
I think
maybe.
Paul's was around 6 or 7
That's about right. Yes.
actual moorings with a few more deferred. I think we're going to end up right around 20, 20 to 25 coming out of that with with a loss of 10 or so grand total. The numbers are definitely going up. Definitely going up.
Be interesting to see on the deferments, how many do take it or do they just drop out?
Yeah, there's been a couple I know that Melanie has gotten a hold of that they've said, yeah, well, we took our year and thanks, but no thanks.
But Jay, and some of the ones that took it, some of the 20, I guess, that Eric's saying that took it had been deferred previously. So as long as, we've got, if the wait list contains a mixture of deferred and fresh, the percentage should hold. If I understand right, we had the sample of 80 and 20 of them signed up, and there's deferrals and there are people that quit and everything on the other 60. Is that right, Eric? roughly?
Correct. Yes, that's a good assessment of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Caleb? You-
Sorry,
Melanie,
Mel just texted me. We need to restart the meeting so she can jump back on. Her computer locked off. But because she was the host, we would need to restart.
Okay.
Okay, so we just need to
Just
leave.
everyone leave and
Leave,
then.
leave and
restart.
join again. Okay.
Leave, goodbye.
Leave and rejoin everybody, please. All right.
Leave me.